Hey there, welcome to the Loose Lumiere channel. It is me, Loose Lumiere. We're doing a twin flame one heart reading. This is the this is actually like the 7th time I'm fucking recording this. 2 months ago I tried, there were some hiccups. This is the second time today I'm trying to record this. Some things like flipped. So, and as they flipped, I went to turn off my music and the time was like 1:11. And then something happened and I had to stop the recording because um, well, anyway, so I'm going to explain this. You've seen this spread if you've been on my channel for a while, and if you have seen this spread before and like you're familiar, come through. Hi, honey, I appreciate you still sticking around and being here. This is called the One Heart spread, inspired by Sarah Hall. I liked the heart shape she did, and I took it for my purposes, which is different from her ones. Well, not so much actually. I use it for the twin flames because it just makes the most sense. I really want to get a second deck of romance angels specifically for this spread, because how I do this spread is on the one side is a divine feminine, on the other side is a divine masculine. One of the things that happened in the previous recording, it flipped. The divine feminine is typically on this side, but she wanted to be on this side, so I guess we'll do it that way. The twin flame, in the twin flame lore, it's apparently two souls, one soul that's been split in two. I mean, we're all souls split, really, if you think about source being the source, and then we're all split from source. But apparently, with twin flames, it's a it's a split of like a second split from the original split. So there's that. It's sort of like it splits into this yin and this yang. Yes and no, into this runner and this chaser dynamic, into this the feminine and masculine dynamic. But because we all have runner chaser in us, because we all have feminine and masculine in us, it's, you know, neither here nor there. But in order to kind of place the energies, there's divine feminine. That's what I'll be using. I wish I could use runner chaser, because I feel like there are some people, men or women, who are in the divine feminine role and wouldn't really resonate with the fact and the label that it's feminine. So it's unfortunate. So I feel like runner chaser would be more neutral. But yeah, actually runner chaser would be really great, because then we all can assume the runner and the chaser. And you can see how the mirroring can happen if you're both on the chaser side. If you're both on the runner side. Because it's like, what are you chasing, what are you running? Maybe I'll do that in the future, as opposed to divine masculine and divine feminine. I'll do maybe a runner chaser. The runner's doing this, the chaser's doing that. But yeah, I think this time around, let me know if you want that. This time around, I'll just do the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Also, this is going to be really in depth, because there are 11 positions in this spread. That's right, 11 positions in this freaking spread. And then I flip it. So if the divine feminine is on this side and masculine is on this side, I then flip them and read the feminine as though she was on this side and the masculine as though he was on that side, using the same cards. Because again, if there's a sharing of one heart, perhaps it'll shed some more light or depth on what the feminine and masculine aspect of each side are doing. Because, yeah. And hopefully that helps. I quite like it. I really like doing it that way, because it's interesting to me as like a nerd, an intuition nerd. I'm a nerd for my own intuition, and it's fun to see how the story flips, because my languaging changes, and the emotions that are like leave my mouth are different. So if you're down for this cause, grab your cuppa. I got my tea ready here. It's getting cold. And I got my water bottle, because it's going to be a lot of talking. So, hang out with me. I don't want to be alone here for, like, hours. As I mentioned, there are 11 positions in the spread. I will be using primarily the romance angels, but I'll also be using other decks, because, like I said, I do not have a second romance angel deck. I would love one. for the purposes of this spread, because that would be so rich if I did one side each card, each deck of its own, you know. May I please have the current relationship status between these two energies? Where the relationship is right now, what's happening in it. I see you, but I'm not going to put you. You saw that. That's the current relationship energies between these two. And may I please have the feelings of the feminine, please. Oh, okay. Feminine's back on this side. Yay, thank you. That's great. And the feelings of the masculine, where his heart and current feelings, current mind is at right now on the situation. Thank you. Ugh, it's so annoying. That's another deck over there. May I please have the feminine's long-term desires and intentions for this romantic bond, please? Okay, it's funny. And the masculine's intentions, long-term intentions for this bond, please, given the current energy. Por favore. Wow, that is very interesting. Y'all saw that. Wow. Oh, it's gonna be something else. And may I please have the steps the feminine needs to work on to get to her desire? May I please have the steps the masculine needs to work on to get to the desire? May I please have the deeper life lessons and final action steps for the feminine? And may I please have the deeper action steps for the masculine? Deeper life lessons and action steps bring about the best of the relationship for the masculine. Oh. I'm on a diet, and I really, like, just got a craving for, like, peppermint. Oh, peppermint. Oh, God, peppermint, like, cookies. Mint chocolate, mint cookies. God damn it. I just want them in my mouth right now. May I have a short-term outcome, please, of what we've seen here? What's coming up? Doop, doo, doo, doop, doop. Well, I don't know. This one may be. These may be a little bit weird. May I have the longer term outcomes, please? That's fun. Okay. I feel like I will stop this spread when it, like, is, like, wetting here. Like, anyway. Or something. I don't know. Okay, looking at the current energies, I'm so happy the romance angels were able to come through for all positions. Typically, I bring in others, but we'll see what other decks want to play in this game here. Oh boy, blah, 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 blah. This is a lot. Okay, so, the current relationship, where the relationship is right now, what's happening in it, and what's going on. Expectation in reverse from my other deck. That's very interesting. Let's see what the romance angels have to say about that. So we have codependency and worth waiting for. Expectation in reverse. So here's a waiting, and here's a not wanting to wait. With codependency here. Here is the duality of the waiting and not wanting to wait. The waiting and being aware that there is something toxic about the waiting. Maybe even in terms of how things are, like addictions are affecting your romantic life, an addiction to the relationship, an addiction to a certain outcome. When I look at expectation here, this woman is waiting quite patiently when I look at her, but in the reverse, it feels more so like the codependency here. The romance angels and this deck are also not born in the reverse. They're not to be meant to be read in the reverse, but I do read reversals with the romance angels. That's how they speak to me. That's how my intuition communicates with them. So that's how we roll on this channel. To me, this makes sense. There's an attachment here that is wanted and at the same time unwanted between this energy, which is where it's at. It's one that maybe one teeter-totters on, where it's like, oh, this is fine, and then, oh, this is not fine. Waiting for divine timing being and playing a role in this connection, but then also being addicted to divine timing, addicted to and attached to the divine, to time. Attached to how things ought to be, how things could be, how things used to be. And I'm looking at the divine feminine here simply because that's where codependency is looking at, on the divine feminine side. Her looking at her turning, even turning her back on divine timing a little bit. In multiple ways, right? The essence of that could be turning her back on divine timing and focusing on herself. Maybe, yes. But then also turning her back on divine timing and being like, fuck you. You know? Like, and not just divine timing, but like the divine and being like, like deuces, bitch, but then still being attached to it. Because if you have that sort of like anger, that sort of like attitude, there's still a certain resentment and attachment to a certain outcome, which is fair. But also turning her back on the masculine, which if that is a divine counterpart, shall we say, then yeah, looking like almost like the divine is more so on the masculine side than it is on the feminine side. From the feminine's perspective. And with this expectation in reverse, it really does kind of see that. Like, almost like a tease, but a tease gone wrong. As it relates to the what am I saying? As it relates to spirit, the divine. That's interesting. Are you mad at the divine feminine? Are you mad at the divine, comma, feminine, question mark? That's what I meant. Yeah. So I'm going to read the expectation and put her back in the deck. In the upright, it's waiting, patience, the early stages of a relationship, hope for the future, expectations of love and passion. In the reverse, I mean, we can take sort of like the negation of all those things, not waiting so patiently or feeling so kind of like fuck you in a way to the wait. And here what I'm saying is like, I feel like it's an essence of like, that's twofold. Thank you. My nails do look pretty nice. It's an essence that is twofold. On the one hand, it's like deuces, fuck you, to this connection, to divine and like the angst. But then on the other hand, it's almost like a fuck it. You know, it's like it's an energy of just whatever, fuck it. Like not like giving up hope, but not giving up hope in like, because I feel like it always serves a purpose of giving up hope. which helps release a certain energy, you know, but then also has a certain lace to it for some people, for some feminines anyway, at this time. Yeah, not really feeling, yeah, giving up hope. It says hope with good reason, but not, I feel like almost like not liking the hope that you feel. If you do know that, as if the feminine does know that, okay, I am reading the feminine here. If the feminine does know that there is hope, the hope is unseen, and the hope is far away. It's not close. It may not feel too tangible, or it may be like a, when is this gonna happen type thing. And so sort of like a releasing and a fuck it of that energy, which is actually a good thing. But then it's laced with something. On the masculine side, as far as where the situation is at, it's almost the same. I feel like the masculine may be feeling an attachment to the, that's weird. A feeling an attachment to the feminine, feeling this unknown pull towards the feminine, or unknown attachment link towards the feminine, which sucks, because I mean, this almost feels, this looks and feels like someone who doesn't want it, but they have it. This is where you continuously think about someone that you don't want to think about. This is where you continuously run over and replay in your mind when you're trying to sleep that thing that you did that was so embarrassing. Like, and you're like, why can't I let it go? Why can't I move on? That's that. Now, because this is a mutual shared energy, it could be for both. You could relate with what I just said, or you could relate with the initial part that I said. Let's keep it moving. Guilt. Okay. There may be a sense of, even as far as one side is concerned, a sense of, what is guilt? What's guilt? Feeling bad for wanting to take care of yourself. Yeah. Feeling bad for wanting to release in some ways. So, I think this is the feminine. I mean, like, oh man. I mean, we'll flip it anyway, right? So we can read it either way. I'm still feeling like the feminine wants to be on this side. I feel like the feminine is really feeling some sort of like masculine energy. There may be something of like a flippity flip with the feminine and the masculine right now. Like, I feel like that might be a thing that's happening. So I'm glad I'm going to read both sides. I just am torn on whether I should say this is the feminine or this is the feminine. To be honest, I'm really feeling like the feminine like wants to be here on this side. You know what? I'm gonna do something that I haven't done. I need to like see this whole story, because something funky is going on here. There's a lot of reversals, bruh. There are a lot of reversals here. Here's what I'll do. I will read the feminine on this side first, and then we'll flip it in the end, because I just feel like it won't let me move forward. What I say still stands. There's like an FU vibe here. There's like an FU vibe here, just because codependency is that, and it's almost like an FU vibe to the person, but also to the connection, to the position of where the people are. I hate being in this place. I hate feeling these things. I hate not blah blah blah. But then also, still having that hope, and that's the worst. Like, Hope and I are sometimes enemies. Hope is not the best person ever. Finances and career slips out, so which tells me that an attempt to focus on other things is what both are trying to do. Okay, flipping the switch. Feminine, reading feminine on this side first. As far as the feminine's current feelings, where she's at right now is serious. That's interesting. She's serious about certain things. She really is giving this like fuck off vibe. Damn. She is. I'm just flipping some cards over here in the background as I shuffle. They do the thing. The cards that I flipped out were healing family issues. It's safe for you to love and free yourself. So the feminine is focusing on other things. She's focusing on other things in her life and getting serious about those things. She may be even thinking about what type of a future she wants because, well, time's a ticking. Something about the past. I don't know. I feel like she's looking at the past, thinking about the past, but not so much reminiscing. Almost ready to let go of the past, move through the past. Why am I holding you? Okay. Wanting to let go of the past, move through the past, and ooh, these cards feel so nice. And focusing on the future and being more serious about that. That's funny because I feel like that's the thing that's been coming up for feminines, like really seriously thinking about, for people I've been reading for, which are largely feminines, really thinking about the future. That's something that I'm getting with that. You want to tell me a little bit more about that? Thinking more about the future. I mean, this guy has the world in his hands, and he's, to me, trying to decide and thinking about where he wants to go, which actions he wants to take, but I feel like he has thought about the actions that he wants to take, because the world is in his hands. It's just he's not moving quite yet. He's not moving quite yet, so thanks for that. I appreciate you. And at the bottom of the deck, burning my fucking hand, is the Ace of Pentacles over there in reverse. So, something that's not yet started, thinking seriously about the future of herself. Am I really supposed to continue being in this? Am I really, like, what am I, like, being a lot more grounded and being a lot more pedantic about an uncertain future, a future that she doesn't quite know where it'll be, but also, again, with this worth waiting for, a future that she doesn't know is there / exists. Like, what do I mean? A future that she doesn't yet know exists. Like the two. Okay. Fuck my life. Come through. Okay, the aces are, I relate them to the magician. Okay? I was gonna say, like, the high priestess, and I was like, no, fuck, aces are like the magician. I need, like, if the empress came out, I'd be like, a future that she doesn't yet know of because it's hidden. It's not yet spoken. It hasn't been yet given life. But I didn't need to, I needed, like, this two helps me, like, be like, no, you're right, Luce. It's about, like, empress energy, things, like, not being known yet, things not being made, decisions that, like, future's unknown, certain, like, clarity that's not known yet, trying to figure that out. And then I just remembered fucking Two of Wands is a 2, so I'm allowed to speak about the Empress where that's concerned. And then the Nine of Pentacles shows up in reverse here again, where she was in the upright with the Two of Wands. So seriously thinking about her future, and it doesn't need to be. I feel like she's making certain decisions. I mean, obviously these are both decision cards, you know, that the tarot just helped us out with. Thinking about where she wants to go and what's really worth her. Thinking seriously. I'm going to leave it at that. Thinking seriously, because we have to keep it moving. The masculine's energy here, we have new love in reverse and deception. Deception, to me, and codependence are a very cute couple. They're like best friends that somehow never made it to be lovers here. If anything, this codependency could be this deception, in that codependent, we don't know who's underneath that mask. It could be male or female with just no bra on, because you can't see any tatas necessarily. Androgynous but very attractive long-necked person. The deception card used to be my favorite card in the Romance Angels deck. What I'm seeing here is something about a faking of like new interests. A faking of new interests. It's almost like, yes, some divine masculines are seeing people, but it's almost like, even, okay, thank you. Even if the divine masculine is this is such a big fucking spread. I wish I didn't unveil all the cards at once. I'm gonna actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. With this is, okay. It's something that's happening in the background. It's one of those things where, remember when I was saying earlier with the mutual energy of how, as hard as you try to not think about something or someone, you're damned if you do. Like, you still thinking about this situation. It still comes into your mind. You try to forget it. You try to do all sorts of things with the whole, you know, using other things to take your mind off it, trying to focus on other things. Remember, with the finances and career coming out, what I said about that, it's trying to look at distractions, whether they are distractions in the form of people, distractions in the form of blah, 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 but trying this, that, and the other to help show that one is no longer interested, but they are still, like, interested or attached, but they sort of are still attached. There are some masculines, and as there are some feminines that just do not want to be thinking about their divine counterpart. They don't want to be thinking about each other, but they're damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. They are attached to this thing, which sucks. And I think that's why with codependency, there's this, like, toxicity there. But then there's also this hope. So, like, for some of you, it's like, oh, I'm okay thinking about them, yay. And for others, they're also okay thinking about you, yay. But then there's also something laced with that. Like, there's still a lacing of, like, really, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. Where some people, it's a lacing of that, where others, that's their energy, and there's a lacing of hope. So, with the masculine here, masculines are, not to say that they're pretending to be with other things, it's just there's still this attachment that they still have. And he may not want it. Alternatively, there's also this energy of the masculine trying to bring forth this new energy that, again, is tainted. Okay, it ain't new. It's a tainted new energy. So this is pretending the past didn't happen. This is pretending there aren't multiple, at this point, elephants. Look who slipped out. Multiple elephants in the fucking room, pretending like they don't exist, pretending that there aren't, you know, flies all over this dead horse that has been beaten in this, like, pretending that there isn't something that may need to be addressed. Tell me a bit more about the Page of Pentacles. This is, to me, the pretending. This is, to me, trying to make something, trying to go back and make something out of not nothing. You know how when you're let's say you're stuck in, this is what I'm saying. This is a really bad way of explaining this. You know how if you're stuck in an elevator with someone, or in a room with someone. Let's say you're on a date or something, or it's your boss, or just some situation where it's just the two of you in the room, and then you smell something foul. One of you farted. You know it wasn't you. You know it was them. They know it was them. But none of you are, like, addressing it. Or, like, something happens and none of you are addressing the thing that happened. You're trying your hardest to, like, not talk about it or refer to it. That's what this whole thing feels like to me. Where someone is reaching out, someone is there, someone is, you know, it's just pretending, and trying to start something new. And yes, it is maybe something new, okay, but, like, just with pretense. Ace of Swords. Like, there's pretense. There's pretense. And either, I don't know, like, at the bottom of the deck, Seven of Swords, like, there's a pretense here. No, that's the one. There's a pretense. And maybe I'm feeling, maybe this person doesn't know how to bring about this, how to stop this pretense. But there's, like, this layer of, I've shuffled the cards, is this layer of, like, deception, obviously, with that deception there, underneath the newness, which delays this newness that could be, there. Also, the masculine may be thinking that, the feminine is maybe feeling that the feminine is faking something. She may be faking new love. She may be faking that she's moved on. She may be faking that she's no longer attached. What he's feeling, maybe he may be wanting truth from the situation and embracing certain opportunities to bring about truth to the situation. Okay? Alright, now this is where it gets a little funky. The desires, the current, the desires and intentions. The feminine is separation. Separation. Let me just clarify that, because that was the biggest shocker for me when I was shuffling. We all saw it. Separation. Now, does she want to separate herself from this bond? Yeah, I am very, very certain there are many feminines that want to separate themselves from this bond. Want to separate themselves from this person, because there's a lot of fucking reversals here, and that follows with the story here. Or a lot of feminines who want to separate themselves from the codependency energy, that want to separate themselves and want to join the crew that are living their best life as possible. Wanting to separate themselves from heartache, wanting to separate themselves from bullshit, wanting to separate themselves from any sort of deception that they may be feeling on their part or on the masculine's part. But either way here, the feminine's desire and intention is very clear, and it's separation. It is one of the only upright cards here. That's pretty meaningful to me. Eight of Cups in reverse. And the Five of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups. At the top of the deck, we have the World in reverse and the Moon. That's it. The Seven of Cups, the Moon, and the World in reverse. I'm feeling a not wanting to do this can you see? I'm feeling a not wanting to do this anymore. You can't see that. A not wanting to do this anymore. not wanting to think about the past. Again, that's what I'm seeing with this 3 of Cups. I mean, excuse me, this 5 of Cups. Falling here is looking at the past celebrations, the past reunions, the past funs, the gloriousness, or even, I guess, third parties, because I'm sure there's a third party here with that over there, but kind of excess stuff. I mean, excess stuff is not just people. Excess stuff is worldly things like work and money and time. But here it's looking like not wanting to be attached to the feminine is, again, with the time thing, feminine wants to move forward but is a bit stuck. She wants, her desire is to separate from this stuckness. Some may want to separate from the person, and some may actively be trying to separate themselves from the person in a certain way. Does this mean break up? Does this mean abandoning the relationship? I don't know. It means separation. Separation is so big. Separation is wanting to, like, removing oneself from something else, right? Removing oneself from what is currently attached. With the 8 of Cups here coming out, it's the codependency. 8 of Cups and codependency, 5 of Cups, and free yourself are my cousins here. They relate. It's being attached, having that hope, but not wanting to be attached nor have that hope. That's what the feminine, to me, is trying to eradicate herself from. This attachment. Oh, wow. Or feeling even attached emotionally in such a way that it throws her off, right? So take that, how it sits with the feminine, because it may be wanting to distance her, like distance herself from emotions that hurt, emotions that don't serve her, emotions that are clearly toxic. That's good. I'm not mad at that. That makes more sense. Thanks, T. Also, wanting to separate herself from the past. Like with the playfulness. Wanting to separate herself from what used to be. With the 7 of Cups, the moon and the world, this tells me it's difficult. And the moon is coming out to help me out with that too, with that high priestess of unknown, maybe not knowing how to separate herself from her soul's attachment and her soul's want for detachment. From her human's attachment to her spirit's freeness. And that's quite difficult. Maybe having options. Or really wanting to figure out if that's the route she wants to take. I am going to be doing, or I have done by this point, if you're watching this in the way future, a reading on, like, options. The people that have come to your world that are around, and guidance for, like, how to proceed when it comes to love with them. But yeah, this is someone who wants to separate. Her desire is to separate herself from certain emotions that are heavy, emotions that are confusing, emotions that don't feel the best for her highest good, and it being not as easy because there is still this attachment. Here, currently. The masculine's intention is to also, honestly, the masculine's intention, yes, I feel like he does want to separate in a way, but he wants to shoot his shot elsewhere. Oh, even with it follows in line with the deception there, and the new love, wanting to, find other things to distract or find other things to serve. in order to help leave this behind. But looking, wanting to shoot his shot elsewhere with that "you deserve love" there, but also feeling quite insecure because, again, feeling the certain, wondering if the feminine is open to others, because there's been a sense of like some detachment with the feminine's desires for wanting to detach, wanting to, feeling insecure and attempting to cover up the insecurity by shooting the shot elsewhere. But also trying, I suppose, to feel more secure as it relates to this bond by shooting his shot elsewhere. Does that make sense? So this is the first one, is someone feeling insecure about the bond, and so going elsewhere to, someone feeling insecure in themselves and going elsewhere to find jollies, and also someone feeling insecure about the relationship and therefore going elsewhere to build up security. Okay? That's what I meant. I hope that made sense. Tell me more. Knight of Wands. Shoot the shot. Oh. Oh, Knight of Wands. Still, with the hand, with the hand of deception, with the pentacle holding, with the Ace of Swords, some masculines or the same masculine within the energy may be feeling insecure, and the desire and intention would be to come in for a temperature check and then, well, maybe leave and shoot the shot elsewhere. Whatever the masculine, okay, if the feminine desire is to separate, the masculine desire is to build himself up. The masculine desire is to not feel insecure. So if the masculine sense of insecurity is going elsewhere to feel validated or to feel stronger in himself, then that's what he's going to do. This doesn't have to be a bad thing. This could be him taking some classes to be a better, like, you know, whatever. I don't want to read this like negatively or positively or whatever. That's the case. So this is, whatever it is, this is the masculine kind of doing not soul searching, but he's like on a journey to shoot his arrow at what he believes will help build him up. If that is the feminine, he may come bounce into the feminine and then, I don't want to say and then leave, it's just maybe. A temp check. This is where, hey, are we still, how do you fit, you know, are you still, you know, are you all, you know, that type of thing, like, are we, ooh, that type of thing. Or this is, going elsewhere to see, do I still got it? So this is a journey to see if I still got it in its way, or can I have it? So I feel like, honestly, there's an energy here of a masculine who wants to come towards the feminine here, and it might be because of that separation, really. A masculine who wants to come towards the feminine to see, to check things out. And with this Knight of Wands, dude's on a mission. He's actively looking, again, shooting that shot, actively looking to find security somewhere. If he goes towards the feminine, then that's where he's going to seek security. If he's going elsewhere, then that's where he's going to seek security. You want to tell me anything else about Two of Swords again. Bruh. Two of Swords again. Possibly running blind and not really knowing where the security is. Not being certain whether the security is here or there or everywhere. And so maybe running to this place, and that place on a journey to find one true security, Which honestly, I think is the case. It's a grand essence, but it's really quite simple. The masculine is looking for security in his way. And security in his way could be, can I be here and still be free, right? If I use typical what guys want, if we say the masculine is a dude. I don't want to be attached, I want to feel free. So security to the masculine could be freedom, a feeling of freedom. Can I still bounce into this person's life and still be free to bounce out? Can I bounce into this person's life and stay in this person's life and still feel free? Like the masculine is looking for security in his way. And isn't quite sure where it is, but he's looking for it. The sun. He's looking for it. So, to me, what this says is, what happens when the sun rises is this blindfold is not so dark anymore. Because the sun is going to permeate through those strands and you'll be seeing red as opposed to darkness. At least when I close my eyes, I see black. Some people see different things. Here, what I see initially is this guy riding into the sun. Because this just is like a very light environment. However, I really like the sun here because for many people, again, there's like two types of masculines here, or is there an energy, but it's like the same still. The masculine looking for soul, like soul is sun. I was really avoiding saying soulmate because in the vice versa tarot, the Knight of Wands is looking for his soulmate. The Knight of Wands is looking for his soulmate. And sometimes you can look for your soulmate. I mean, we look for our soulmate in different ways. We look for our soulmate by dipping it and doing it everywhere. Or just one, because you're looking, are you it? Are you it? Are you it? Are you it? And you're covering massive amounts of grounds. Or you're looking at one person saying, you're it, here we are. So the masculine is looking for security. That's where I'm going to leave it at. How he's looking for it, where he's trying to do, multiple ways. All of them leading to the same place. He might come back with a tan. I'm also seeing some adventure here. Yeah. He's shooting a shot. Wow. I rarely get the sun. Thank you. So, as far as the feminine's steps she needs to take, is to stop trying to create opportunities and stop looking for opportunities. Ooh. Damn. That's hardcore. Okay. I guess to stop fighting opportunities? What I'm seeing here is to let it flow. Not trying to create opportunities, not trying to create opportunities. Oh, and when I say the Knight of Wands is looking for a soulmate, don't look at soulmate versus twin flame. He's looking for, like, belonging, okay? I just saw the devil. Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, it is. In reverse, though. Yeah, not looking for opportunities, not trying to create opportunities. Letting it flow is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, not trying to create opportunities. I just keep saying that. Not trying to create opportunities. Like, let me see. That's not the steps for me. Let me get my oracle cards out. My clutch babies. We're 50 minutes in and we're only on position 6. Okay. Tell me a bigger story about this, please. Help me understand this. I don't understand why that came out this. Yeah, I keep saying not trying to create opportunities, like not trying to, I don't know if it's do too much energetically or even at all, like just go with the flow of things. Like put down your weapons. Like wait, yeah. But not wait. Like let it flow. Why I say that is because 4 minus 7 is 3, and 3 would be in reverse, and that's a 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is, what is that? What do people say about that? It's like waiting for your ships to come or something. It's this guy sitting with blah blah blah. In reverse would be don't wait. Like the opportunity is not like don't wait. It's almost like there may be other opportunities that you may need to look at. So let's see. What the feminine might need to work on. Follow the leader and sacred pool. My. Okay. So I hope you can still see. Oh, it doesn't matter. I like that these two came out for you. I mean, for feminine. I really like that they came out for feminine. I'm going to read them both out loud. You're being called to lead others by example. Your wisdom has been earned as a result of your bravery in the adventure of your life. The experiences of battles won and lost, places discovered, tears shed, and joy revealed have placed you in a unique position to be of service to others. Your suffering has been crystallized into a talisman of wisdom. Now you must share it. By being fully authentic, you lead others into the light. Oh! Didn't we see the sun for the masculine come through? You'll be required to divulge some things about your past so that you may help someone else. Lead with love. There is another message here as well. Look to those whose great character and accomplishments you admire. Emulate their leaders you respect. You will then, in turn, have more to offer. And Sacred Pool, thank you, says, when you look into the mirror, do you like what you see? Sacred Pool card asks that you focus on self-love and self-esteem. We are all works in progress, so a detached self-examination made with rigorous honesty is called for. Reflect, reflect by the sacred pool and be at peace with yourself. Can you see how far you've come and how magical your life is? Do you notice the spark of the divine shining through your eyes? When you're conscious that you're the embodiment of spirit, it becomes easier to respect yourself and act in good conscience. Then you'll reap the greatest rewards. Your unique service to the world is not only needed, but celebrated. You see the love within you, and know that if you cast it upon the waters, it will return to you tenfold. Be at peace, for you are beautiful and loved. Act with surety and confidence, and success will be yours, whatever your inquiry. I really like that. This is so powerful. I wasn't expecting this. Stop not trying so hard, or even trying in the direction of things that you may have been trying. Or if this is like what you've been doing already, then that come through. That's great. I feel like this is adding on to the separation and separating yourself from things that don't feel good. And kind of dancing that dance, because sometimes they do feel good, and then most of the times they don't, though. So this is you allowing spirit to guide you, your intuition, you sitting with the feelings, feminine, sitting with the feelings that she needs to sit with when she may feel an urge to create an opportunity that's not for her to create. What I'm seeing here again is that whole, who is this? Justice? Okay. You don't have to do it alone, right? Like, feminine doesn't have to do it alone. Do what? Anything alone. Stepping into the essence of what you want and listening to what the messages of these two were is how one will move into the light naturally without having to create opportunities that aren't being called to be created in the most obvious way. Oh my God. Yeah. Stop waiting and live your best life. Like, you are the opportunity. Masculine steps he needs to take. Release your ex in reverse. Oh, this is loaded. This is a loaded gun. Masculine. The step you need to take is release your ex. There's some energy that masculine may have been carrying around. Masculine, you need to release what was. You need to release, I'm feeling fears here, but I'm also feeling like not necessarily, like, okay. If you see a dirty dog in the streets, it's a dirty dog. What are you going to do? I don't know. Like, okay. There is a dirty dog outside your house. It's dirty. It's bad. It's dirty. What do? Kick it? Kill it to get rid of it? Or whatever? Right? It's been following you around and you don't like it. Or do you clean it up and, like, take it into your house? This is such a bad example. But basically, that's what I'm feeling here with this release your ex in reverse. It feels like there may be some things about an energy that you're trying to release, masculine, that masculine is trying to release, that it's a dog. God damn it. It's a puppy. It's a dog. Masculine may need to just clean the dirt, release the dirt, get rid of the manginess of it all, and keep the actual dog itself. So if masculine himself is viewing himself as the dog, masculine may need to separate himself in a healthy way from his own insecurities and not deem himself entirely unworthy. Deem him, like, releasing his shame and guilt or whatever reasoning, pride. Like, you may need to release those things and not so much release who you are as a person or what you're drawn to. Masculine, you may also need to look into releasing who you were and how that may continuously play in with this deception here, where you may not think you're worthy of certain things because of, well, you know, the devil being a liar. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. On the bottom we have the Seven of Swords. Okay. Well. Oh, masculine. Oh, masculine. I'm going to stick with a story of masculine needing to release certain parts of the past, but like evolve from them. Oh, yeah, that's right. Evolve from them. This is acknowledging and calling out the pink elephants and wiping away the flies over the carcass of the dead horse that's been beat to death. Like, this is acknowledging the multiple elephants in the room and really coming through with that sort of truth from earlier and cutting through all those illusions and those things. This, to me, is releasing what was, releasing that, not in the way that's been happening, in terms of ignoring it, in terms of ignoring it, no. But in terms of addressing it, I farted. Like, that's like, you say it, hey, oh, I passed some gas, excuse me. You know, like, this is acknowledging the past and possibly even making atonement for it, because I'm seeing releasing this oneself from, because if this is his desire and intention, right? Wanting to feel more secure, blah, blah, blah. This is perhaps who he used to be. This little page, this bold little boy who, masculine, you were doing things and doing what you could, and then things got cracked. Things got cracked, or things will be helping you things will be coming along to help you break this foundation, and for you to address what needs to be addressed. But with this Knight of Wands here, I feel like there's a part of you that, in order for you to, the steps that you need to take are to ride into and shoot your shot, but not from the past, like not having the past influence you in a way that isn't helpful, right? It's not calling home the place that was broken. So the tower is this tower that's been struck by lightning and a giant ass like crown. The crown has fallen, the tower is burning. This takes a while to fall because fire is not going to burn brick as quickly as it needs to. But the people up in there, they're done for. They're out. You can't go on this journey thinking home is home, that's how it's always going to be. No. It's almost like if you're going to go on this journey, not like get the raw materials that you need to build a good home for yourself and for your future. Masculine has leveled up here from a page in the past to a knight currently, or at least in where he wants to go. So there has been a shift, bro. Like, this swap, I've never done this before. Masculine is literally always on this side. Yeah, can I have further guidance for... Okay, right. You can't, like, you can't... These swords, if masculine has taken... Look at the Ace of Wands in reverse. If masculine, you have taken swords and you run along as the Knight of Wands going on your journey towards, you know, the sun or whatever, thinking you can do it. Babe, no, you can't. Like, these swords are going to burn the fuck out of your hands. Like, you can't do that. They're not the right equipment that you need to go face in the sun. I mean, neither is a wand, but anyway. Also, this kind of reminds me of a tower in that, in what I'm seeing in my mind, which I'm really trying my hard to explain. This looks like someone who's like, I'm going to go get help to fix this, but it's like, no, this needs to crumble. You don't need help. You need to go get better materials. So it's masculine is you are going on this journey, like you are doing this thing. It's just, where are you going to get the material for this? Are you going to get the same material that helped build this tower, or are you going to get better material? And that is something that I want to say may be happening inside masculine. And hopefully in his thoughts, but I'm hoping it's more so finding better material and taking away with him the bad material to compare and say, is this the same? Oh, this matches. I don't want this because this is the shit material from before. I want something better. That's my hope for masculine here. But as far as it coming to releasing the X in reverse here for what masculine's steps what masculine needs to, oh my God, the steps masculine needs to take is to release a certain past energy, possibly address it within yourself or even without yourself, or both, so that as masculine is going on this journey, he's shooting his shot towards hopefully something realer, something truer to him and his highest good, and just the highest good of this connection. I don't even know if I should leave the Knight of Wands out because he'd be tricking. Alright. Let's get some more for you. Steps masculine needs to take is to walk away from what was, walk away from old wishes, and hope that things are going to come his way. At the bottom we have flying, so keeping hope alive, but oof. Oh boy. Yeah, okay, masculine definitely. Certain patterns are at play, certain, there's two masculines here. There's some masculines who are really trying to be better, and I think all masculines are trying to be better in a way, but, I mean, some of them aren't. There's like a percentage that are not trying to do shit, but the ones that I'm picking up on are trying to do better. It's just some are trying to do better from the same place that did them wrong. So masculines have to be aware of their patterns. I'm going to read that. I'm hoping that the double message here is there's going to be this kind of new beginning here with the 0-1 as opposed to the 10. But this is a symbol of addiction in all forms. So again, this could be addressing both masculines. That's so funny. It says here, if you fear change, be willing to change. Surrender your wants to a higher power, ask for truth, and allow humility to be your guiding force from within. You will always get what you need. You are only a victim of your perceptions. Take heart because you can't sink any further. The only way to go from here is up, and wondrous things await you. So that's amazing. The tower is big, massive change. Change from a page to a knight is a change. So if the knight is running away from change, if the Knight of Wands, the masculine, is running away from change, either way, that's what he needs to do. Change in terms of what may need to be looked at more specifically in terms of releasing, and what is okay to keep. God. Okay. Wait. Feminine. Goddamn. When it comes to the feminine's deeper life lessons and sort of like final action steps, it's leaving things to the divine and I'm going to say addressing the triggers here. I'm going to say embracing herself. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Whenever. Oh yeah. Okay. So what we talked about letting go of creating opportunities, blah blah blah. Look at that, strength slips out. This is exactly what it is. I'm actually going to leave this out. At the top of the deck, we have messages. Eight of wands, and the Queen of Wands in reverse and Temperance in reverse. I'm alright with that. This to me is telling me a story of what I was going to say, and then this slipped out, and I was like, oh, come through. This is where you're not, feminine is not making any opportunities happen. She's letting things be and letting truly the factors of spiritual whatever play out in the way that they need to play out. This is just further action steps, right? To what we talked about before. Probably should have done them at the same time. Anyway, it's this again. I think I said, right? Yeah, I think I said. I didn't even know this was out here. But unrequited love to me is 5 of Cups, almost like 5 of Cups in reverse, or 5 of Cups. It really depends how the 5 of Cups is hitting me. But it's funny. Come through. It's when feminine feels those pangs, when feminine feels those energies that she's trying to separate herself from. It's allowing herself to feel them. Yeah. So that they can be integrated and dissipate. Because what I'm seeing here is, let's say feminine is ill. And in that moment of vulnerability, all feminine wants, all feminine wishes is that masculine would be there for her in the way that she wants, in the way that she feels she needs. It's being in that position and asking yourself, what would I want masculine to do for me? What would masculine do right now that I am wanting from masculine? And feminine giving that to herself, because with unrequited love here in reverse, to me, it tells me that something's missing that's not really missing. So if feminine wants masculine to hold her while she's going through this vulnerable state, feminine holds herself. Feminine gives to herself what she's wanting from masculine. Just like we came through with the, oh yes, thank you, with the sacred pool, being a reflection of what it is that you want. Being to you what you would want masculine to be with you, or having the relationship with yourself that you would want with masculine, or with anybody, really. It's showing yourself what you are worth, showing yourself what you want, showing yourself that you are worthy of it, so that you train people to treat you that way. Because if you can do it for yourself, that becomes your norm. And then people have no choice but to fall in line, or they fall back, because that's just how that goes. With masculine here, it's, I want to say, giving up shame. Masculine, further steps he needs to take is to give up shame. Yeah. It's to give up the shame. To allow changes to happen and to release what needs to be released. If it's pride, if it's saying, oh, I was justified in doing this, that, and the other, blah, 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 it's giving that shame up. Because as one evolves, as one changes, if this tower is, say, a moment of realization and one has seen the change and they see something maybe has happened or transpired. I mean, this could be in a song or a movie where you see things from a different perspective. And if masculine has gone through a different perspective and is feeling some type of way about how they may have handled this connection or how they are handling this connection, then masculine is probably going through some stuff and wanting to fix it with that stick. I want to fix it. I'm gonna wreck it. Like, I'm gonna fix it. But inside, masculine may be thinking, I'm gonna wreck it, like Ralph. But I almost feel like it's more so even a teeter-totter between it's not on me to fix it and justifying it in a human way, as opposed to this is what I mean. Okay, this is what I mean with justice continuously coming out. If divine masculine and divine feminine, look at that, the devil. If divine masculine and divine feminine were not a couple, if divine masculine and divine feminine are more so in a situationship, essentially you don't owe each other anything because you're not really together. So this can be some reasoning and rationality that some masculines may be going through, you know, depending on your relationship. Oh, it's okay for me to have done that because, I mean, we weren't really together. That's bullshit. Because the heart doesn't fucking know whether you're together with somebody or not. The heart will still feel pierced. The heart will still feel betrayed. So if this is something the masculine is feeling, I feel like there's sometimes even a little bit of like a teeter-totter between, well, we weren't really together, or we're not really, you know, whatever, but it doesn't matter. Emotions are still there, emotions are still felt, and there's some shame here, really, with this let your friends help you. There's some shame here. Not wanting to sort of face that, but it's also part of the releasing, holding oneself prisoner to their past mistakes, as opposed to, which is the easier thing than being brave and coming forward and saying, hey, I apologize for this that happened, even if it happened 10 years ago or 2 months ago, or, you know, whatever. It's owning up to that. So there's some shame there. But with this Knight of Wands, I almost feel like there could be, for some people, masculines that do want to own up and step into that 0-1 of the rock bottom energy, who have come from the place of shame. But with this being like I mean, you know, it doesn't matter. The romance angels still speak to me like this. Yeah. For some masculines, which would be great. I fucking love that. Can you tell me a little bit more about this, please? Guess who came out? The two of swords. Golly. My God. Oh, are you still watching? Am I alone? Am I talking to myself right now? Are you still here? It's so cute. It's really cute. Can you tell me more? Yeah, you came out real quick. All right, who's this? Three of swords in reverse. Okay, so I was asking, one of the questions I was asking was, why does the 2 of swords keeps coming out? And the 3 of swords comes out. So I suppose there's some sort of clarity over these swords coming out of the heart, which is nice. It's nice that they'll come out, but it's just that as they're coming out, there's still some pain, there's still some trigger. And then we have even more swords out here. Come through. That's the 5 of swords. So it's like, oh, look, I cut it to the lovers in reverse. It's to me this, where if there was sorrow, if there was heartbreak or betrayal or whatever, which 9 times out of 10 there was shit, or still currently happening, it's healing, which is nice. It's just sometimes with healing, it doesn't feel like healing because, well, you're kind of reliving the thing that happened, aren't you? And if you know anything about healing, then you understand what I'm saying. Whereas you're healing through things, you get fucking triggered, and that shit sets you off. So here to me again is someone who is reliving not each event, but someone who's reliving and going through the pain and heartbreak in reverse. Ooh, I felt this. That was in that energy for ages, and it fucking sucked. I hated it. Oh, I kept praying for peace and clarity and just peace. Here to me is someone who is maybe of two minds, someone who's trying to protect themselves and think logically over something. And shame is something that they may be trying to mitigate, something they may be trying to understand. I shouldn't feel bad about this, or I should feel bad about that, but not really quite yet doing. I mean, I don't want to say doing anything about it, because the wands has come out, and as the wands have come out. But here's someone who is reliving the pain, reliving the thoughts, the events, coming into their own as, oh, it's so funny. The Five of Swords came out too, didn't it? And these are 5 swords here. And then, you know what's left when these 3 swords come out? The Sword of Truth. So some truth may be coming, some clarities may be coming towards the masculine in time, because we had that over there as where he's at. Where he was at was there was that Sword of Truth. So perhaps the masculines, I totally believe it, are in this energy, or will be in this energy of seeing the truth and maybe seeing the deception. Within themselves or within this connection that hopefully hasn't been helpful. And then, you know, coming into this truth. In any case, it may be slightly stagnated still, because the 5 of Swords did come out. I mean, it didn't really come out. It's at the bottom of the deck. But let me sort this out. Just give me a second. Yeah, it still may be canceled out. It still may be canceled out. What's the 7 of Swords? Which one's that one? What do they do in that one? What's the picture of the 7 of Swords? I don't know. 6 is traveling on a boat. 7 is... Oh, that's that deception one. Fuck. Whatever. Anyway. As these swords slide out of this heart, old wounds are reawakened. Cuts and bruises are reignited and cut through again. Healing can be quite painful. Moving through pain and heartbreak that one has caused others, especially if they're aware and have evolved to a certain degree, have shifted to a certain degree. It can hurt to know that you've hurt others, especially people that you care about. So hence the shame, because there's that there. Then there's also a denial of shame. But it also may seem like not quite opening one's heart because of what's going on within. Do you see that? The heart is not something we can see. We can feel it, we can feel it, we can feel it, but we can't see it. And this may be someone here who is protecting their heart as this painful shit is happening inside them, as they're low-key in the back of their mind, like the Empress, moving through each painful thought, each painful sort of swipe and cut in action, because these swords coming out, baby, they're gonna hurt. Especially probably these two, which is funny because they'll be like the first or last to go. I don't know, because I mean, these are crisscrossed, right? These are gonna take time. Someone sort of has to pull them out. So this is painful, and it's, I almost want to say, hopefully, that they do cancel out. I think I said that earlier, but as the Knight of Wands moves into that sun, with those 5 swords. Remember when the 5 of swords came out and I was like, this dude is moving towards the sun with these 5 swords and he might get burned, but he might also be blah blah blah. This is 5 swords possibly moving into the sun to seeking clarity, because I feel like once these 2 swords are released, this one sword will be standing there as a sword of truth, a sword of you only need one fucking sword. This ain't Japan. Like, this is not an anime, okay? We don't need 2 swords. That's weighing you down. I love anime. Well, I don't really find too many anime that's really great these days, but I digress. I really like the 2 of swords, because to me she's a very disciplined woman. I feel like she does this every day. She comes out, practices her strength, and sits on this rock and does her thing until sundown, or until moon down, till sunrise. So why I bring up the sun is when the sun rises, she will get up from this position sore, but with strength, that inner strength. And when she, does the Black Panther, these 2 swords will be falling out when the night moves towards the sun. These 2 swords towards his soul. These 2 swords will fall out, because these swords are going to be a little bit hard to fall out, and also easy, because all she has to do is swing, and then this sword will slip out, and it'll be the sword of truth. So I still feel like there's some things, obviously, that the masculine is going through, especially with that release your ex, releasing certain energies. Oh yeah, releasing certain energies, releasing these swords up in here. Yeah. And we're going to leave the 2 of swords out, because she been cray coming out. Thanks, boo. Appreciate you. And then we have the short-term outcome, culmination of it all right now. Romantic feelings. Romantic feelings and flirt in reverse. So with this, I want to say an acknowledgement that each person has about the other. Because this is the mutual energy still. Oh, this is the mutual energy, Still feeling that attachment to one another. Still feeling that string. Maybe even reminiscing still in a way that is light-hearted, but also a little bit heavy. I'm not feeling badly about this outcome here, this short-term outcome. I feel like something heavy may be coming. Can you tell me a bit more about this, please? Didn't I say reminiscing? Oh man, come through. Thank you so much. Reminiscing, but then also some divine feminines and masculines are going to be hearing from each other, communicating in some sort of way, physically. This is like, what is that? Like a reunion, right? But this, let me read it the way I'm just gonna do it. I do feel like some masculines are going to reach out to feminine. Feminine wants to separate. And that's like, I think I will next time do a runner chaser. Let me know if you're still watching, like, hey, come through. Thanks for hanging out with me while I'm alone doing this. But also, let me know if you would want a runner chaser versus a feminine masculine. See what the runner's doing, what the chaser's doing. Just to see what's up. But yeah, I'm feeling like this is a release of sorts. Yes, that's what it is. A release of sorts. Come through. Oh, yay, that's beautiful. A release of sorts where you maintain the innocence of the past. Not maintain, but the innocence of the past, the innocence of like maybe the initial spark between masculine and feminine is still there. There's still Also, I still really do feel like masculine wants to reach towards feminine, just because this little boy is like reaching towards this little girl, being like, hey, I know I was mean to you earlier and I pushed you on the ground, but he's a good boy. Offering his cup to little girl. Little girl ain't got no damn cup. She's just like, huh? What? I was in my own world living my best life. This looks like the sun child made an outfit for himself. What clothes do these people wear in the Rider Waite? What's good? Anyway, in the short-term outcome, I feel like there is some reminiscing on feelings. There's some reminiscent on how things used to be, but in a way that is more so is in a way that's more so smiley, but also not staying in the past. So it's productive. It's a shift. It's a good thing, really, because yeah, dude, man, masculine is trying to reach out in some sort of way, because even in the longer term outcome, old boy is touching this girl and she's not mad. She's not mad at it, but she ain't got no damn cup. Here she is returning this embrace though, but she's also being like, yeah, whatever. She's still being like, mm-hmm. 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 There's something like serious about the feelings. It's just tell me. I don't want to use. Tell me. Okay. Okay. You got a 3 for me? Oh. They're still being feelings here that, like I said in the beginning of this particular section, that are real for both people. It's just maybe a slight confrontation, but not really. I feel like it's more so a meeting of sorts, and when I say meeting, I don't even know if it's in the flesh or not, but it's more so a meeting, a congregating of masculine and feminine, and this could be in the flesh, really, or in the flesh as in like voice to voice, if you're long distance, or shit, even in fucking person. But it may be even in the energy wise of someone's masculine energy rising up within them and their feminine energy rising up within the masculine, you know, something like that. But over here I'm feeling like someone acknowledging certain feelings, but having some, it being hard, it being tumultuous. For some, yeah, y'all might reunite. I mean, for some twin flames who y'all are still sort of in each other's lives, blah blah blah, there's gonna be some booty, you guys are gonna do it. Duh. There's going to be this sort of possessive energy wanting to claim the other. I'm going to talk about that first because that's lighter. Wanting to claim the other, kind of put your funk on them again, seeing if they've learned anything, to see if they've been with new people, wanting to show them that you're mine. It's not like trying to express each other's feelings through that way, the physical way. So go ahead, get it in, whatever. I mean, it looks like it here with this flirt. It's not anything light. It's like, no, this is not tease. This is, come here. Let me give this to you. There's that story. And I don't, if you're listening to this and you're like, you somehow separate sex from spirituality, I don't know how you can do that. Like, why is that a bad thing? Okay, I thought my phone froze. For others, this is quite possibly an altercation, a communication of something that results in a certain kind of victory. So a certain kind of victory could be, let's say, okay, that's weird. Let's say you see each other in the street, and you like, I don't know, you don't say anything, or something happens on Facebook or social media, and one person doesn't react somehow, and it's like a sense of victory for the both of you. But then there's also a sense of like, I want to claim you. That's weird. What? The page and the king. The page comes out again. The page came out for the masculine over there. So shit. I really don't want to say like, oh, the masculine's gonna reach out, or the masculine but it's looking like the masculine like wants to be reaching out. And for some of you that are waiting for that and it's what you want, you know what you need to do here. But it's looking like there's a certain it's moving from a page to a King of Pentacles with this flirt. It's not about coming in light. It's someone who's been through the sun and has moved through the sun and become the page. I mean, has become the king. Right? Because the sun is maybe rising here? Maybe. And this is in the back of the king. Like, this is someone who's moved through it and become a king. And saying, nah, I'm going to get what's mine. So, as it comes to the mutual energy here, I want to say the masculine is moving towards the feminine in a roundabout way, or even in a direct way, coming to get the feminine in its way, because he's maybe feeling like, no, I want to conquer something else, because this dude wants everything. I mean, look at his loud ass robe. Like, who does that? But yeah, another change. That's a big change here. And the feminine is moving from this I feel like the feminine here, that's a mutual energy, man. I don't want to separate it. There's a seriousness here. Like, yes, there are feelings, and I feel like there's an honoration of both people's feelings, and not a forceful energy, but it's not a light energy that doesn't ignore what's going on. These all seem pretty serious to me, but not so serious that they're stifling. Even with this low guy being like, no, but you're mine. It's like, it's more so owning one's desire. I feel like if I read that as the feminine, she's holding on to her pentacle, holding on to what she's worked for and where she's going towards, and not wanting to be duped. And maybe the masculine coming in. I don't know why masculine is the one who's coming in, but I mean, come on, we know why. Masculine coming in with that pentacle and being like, oh, no, let me come through with this bigger kingdom here. Or feeling a little bit more comfortable and more certain and stable and healthy in himself and herself, too, to move things in a certain direction. Here with the longer term outcome, we finally made it. We have children in reverse. And we have some children here and make the effort, and we have some children here, so we have children in reverse and getting to know each other in reverse with make the effort here. So as far as longer term outcome, I need help. I don't want to say anything. There's like a bunch of things. For some, it's the saga continues. For others, it's the saga continues, but in a different way because certain efforts are still made. But they're gestures building up to the King of Pentacles. So this is like little baby gestures in forms of pages and a slow transformation to the King of Pentacles on both energies, or just for the mutual energy, which is nice. If I can use that example. Pentacles are like the slowest thing ever. Pentacles are like on the ground. Pentacles is like just earth. It's slow, man. You look at a tree, a great big willow tree is like a King of Pentacles. The seed is like a page. Like, that shit takes time. So that's 2 or 3 stories, whatever. And then there's another energy here of, I like this actually. Like, then I think that's what bothers me. Like, there's something about it, but I'm just like, it's also not, like, it's not bad. In the outcome here, there are efforts being made. It's almost like there's progress. You're no longer in the phase that you've been in. Now it's a different kind of phase, whether it's because this person has separated from whatever was irking them, which has come through, or whether this person has gained a certain level of confidence and clarity within themselves and changed to a way that they need to be in order to move through into this new phase. Here with make the effort, I'm seeing 2 people making the effort towards one thing. I want to say separately, the last reading I did for this, which I don't think even got published, was they were very separate. Here, this seems together, with this one kind of coming in a little bit more, in a way, but it feels like there's a little bit more effort towards the connection. But with make the effort here, sometimes it reads a bit differently, so I'm trying to understand what type of effort it is. With children in the reverse, this could either be an end to kind of childish games or a continuation of childish games and manipulations here. With getting to know each other, though, it's quite clear that with the flirt and what I was reading from before, it's this energy of, it's this thing of, I know you, okay? I know you. This is what we have. This is what's happened between us. This is what it's been. So now what? This is a clearation of the elephants in the room. This is, hopefully with this, in reverse, is where it's no longer something where there's manipulation necessarily. Like, it's not, oh, I'm gonna do this and you're gonna do that. It's like, it's on the up and up. Like, we're grown now. We're facing the fact that there are 7 elephants in this room. That one's green, that one's pink, that one's orange, and they all gotta go. We know each other already. Can we make efforts towards each other or this bond? But the thing is, I can't quite say if it's gonna be, I mean, the thing is, it's going to be working on it together, but I don't want to say working on it together hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? There's some, maybe it's going to be working together hand in hand and Godspeed. And for others, it's going to be working together separately, but low-key hand in hand. Because as this person improves themselves and as this person improves themselves, you're indirectly working together in order to improve what you would have together. So still, Godspeed to that. That's awesome. But let's see. I mean, yeah. King of Pentacles in reverse. 9 of Swords. 10 of Swords. That's nice. 10 of Wands, 7 of Swords in reverse, 9 of Cups, Ace of Swords, welcome back, buddy. And the Star in reverse. At the bottom of the deck we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay. So, Okay, that's fair. Thank you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. With the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords here, this tells me that there may not be a complete what the feminine had to work on. The whole separating blah blah blah. There may be like don't dupe yourself into believing you may completely just eradicate someone and separate from them. There'll always be certain triggers. Always, right? There may be. But it's almost to me with this is she'll still be working on what she needs to work on and he will still be working on what he needs to work on. You only need like enough to both of you to reach a certain stage in order for that for you all to work together in whatever way that's going to be done. Okay? So that's nice. You don't have to be 100% perfect is the saving grace here. Yeah. Yeah. We have the Ten of Swords showing up twice here too, with the Nine of Swords and the Ace of Swords, which is really cute. But I've been really thinking about the Ten of Swords lately, so it's really funny that it shows up. There's still this like betrayal, but I feel like it's been put to rest. I've been watching this show. I finished watching this show where this guy, he had 7 hearts. If you know the show, let me know. He has 7 hearts, and so benevolence came and stabbed him in each of his hearts to kill him. But the person didn't really die. They went to purgatory or whatever hell, and they fought this like great demon king or whatever, and then it's an anime, obviously, and then they were reborn. And when they were reborn, they're born with less emotion. Because the demon feeds on that person's emotion when they're reborn. The person is cursed to continue never dying fully. Anyway, with these 2 tens here, firstly with this, with the Nine of Swords, it tells me that there'll still be some certain triggers, still be certain things that one needs to fight through, but when you look at them in the light of truth, when you look at them in the day, like you're gonna be okay. Both parties, which is really nice because this person dealing with themselves in that way, and even this person dealing with themselves in that way with this energy, it's something it's some things to work through, and it is gonna take a while. These wands, it's gonna take a while, but I like this because it reminds me of my vice versa deck where he's going home. He's working and doing all these things to go to a certain place. It's not frivolous, so that's really beautiful. And with this person, I'm actually getting a feeling of peace from here. The Nine of Swords is more menacing, but even then it's not really that menacing. It's almost like oh, that's beautiful. It's almost also like this person has thought things to death for so long that it finally took this final sword to just kill all those thoughts, to just helps, which again is telling me about this like energy shift, the shift between these 2 parties, which is really yay, come through masculine and feminine, where this final sword, the sword either maybe from this one, from both ends, comes and says no, and it kills something else, or it comes through and it's victorious. Because this death to me seems like a bit of a victory, to be honest. It's a weird victory because it came with so much betrayal and heartache and things like that, but it's a certain kind of victory. With the Seven of Swords here, it tells me that the moving forward will have a little bit more truth. Again, like there's a phase that's ending, and God hollow frickin' Luya. Because shit, how long have people been in this angsty stage where it's all angst and no peace? Peace is here with this with this 10 of Swords. And with the 7 of Swords, it's it's telling me hopefully that that deception and certain types of things have been addressed, that will be addressed in the longer term. Yeah, be addressed in the longer term. This hope to me tells me of things from the past ending. Old perceptions, old ways of thinking, old hopes, old emotional attachments, old wishes that became so heavily tainted that the water became dark and black and just not healthy for anybody involved are washed and are renewed, are emptied in order to make way for new water. That's good, because hope, again, I have my beef with hope. I mentioned that earlier. Thank you. So this is that. This, in the reverse, is those two, that kind of like dynamic of where things are right now, moving into new. I like that. And this Nine of Cups, feeling quite good to me, actually. A wish for peace being granted. Not so much hope, but peace. A wish for a new phase being granted. An ending of... Yeah, even with these, I really don't feel a negativity towards the reversals of the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles, because I feel like this is someone who may not be at the top of their game, someone who may not be at the end of all things in their life and really at the top of their mountain, but they're still able to do what they need to do. Same with here, someone who has this kind of, separation, cutthroat, XYZ, but isn't so far removed from their emotions that they're not able to put their sword down for a second and listen to somebody or sort through some things. So I really like these in the river. I really like this. This is surprisingly good. At first I'm looking at them, I'm like, ugh, but I'm like, the romance angels really came through in the reverse for me. Really, really came through in the reverse for me. I don't know if this resonates for you, but this to me is a really actually a cohesive, good message. With this Nine of Cups, it tells me a certain wish being fulfilled on the ground, given rise by almost like with all that laced stuff that was happening up there. It's almost like these waters from the ethers dropped into these cups. So it's like, on the one hand, the dark waters are gone and new waters are coming through. Yay. That's definitely a story. But if you're new, my readings are kind of layered and come through for sticking around for 2 fucking hours. And this other layer to that is this water being no longer just kind of like dumped into here and there, but it being poured into these cups. Like, this wish has been granted. Which could be his wish, because that wishing well is like, walk away from your wish. The masculine's wish. Being granted in this, like, wish fulfilled. So I quite like this. I really like this. I really like this outcome here for both parties, for the mutual connection. I'm gonna just double check the guidance here. I'm sorry. No. I'm gonna check the, oh no, I put the Two of Swords back. I guess we'll put everybody back. I'm gonna check this Make the Effort. I don't like telling you what I'm checking, because I don't feel like you need to know that. And then sometimes I'll be shuffling, and I'll be like, actually, no, I want you to tell me about that. But I'm gonna check this Make the Effort. Can you please expand a little bit more about the Make the Effort card, please? Thank you. Make the Effort message. That's a weird. Look, the Tower and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. For me, okay, so looking at this make the effort here, it's kind of saying that making the effort to take the steps that you're guided individually. So, working on yourselves, each other, as individuals. Divine Feminine doing that, and Masculine doing that. Doing what they need to do. Because that is releasing themselves from, oh, I get it. Releasing, and everything else that we've talked about, right? Just reiterating. And releasing themselves from the toxicity. Releasing themselves from the laced stuff. Releasing themselves from the binding things. Leaving certain things out of the sanctity of this union. Wow. Because with the Wheel of Fortune here, it just tells me about lag time, because this is long-term kind of outcomes. So this is like, it's going to be a while for things to happen. With this Knight of Cups here. Why are you here? With this Knight of Cups, it looks like hold on. I need to ask something first. I don't know if I really want to take that. This Knight of Cups is looking like the universe is maybe asking you to wait for what's yours to come, which makes sense with this Wheel of Fortune here. The question I asked was what was in the cup, and Justice is finally upright. She's been in reverse the whole fucking time. Waiting for what's in the cup, and I think one of the questions I asked was who's delivering this cup, and the Knight of Wands comes out, but really what I asked was what's in this cup, and it's like the Knight of Wands with the Seven of Pentacles. So waiting for both parties, waiting for the universe to deliver what it needs to deliver. Yeah, I mean, this is waiting too, isn't it? Yeah, then this is a structure. This is like, yeah, it's out in the cold or whatever, but like, it's the 5. The 5 is the Hierophant, El Papa. And the Devil card reminds me a little bit of the Hierophant and that whole thing that oh, look at that. At the top of the deck. That's funny. Anyway, it's waiting. This make the effort is doing what you need to do in doing what you need to do, period. And waiting, but not without the lace of the codependency. Like, what you want is worth waiting for. Just do what you need to do. Because the universe is the Knight of Cups. I was like, excuse me? What? The universe is the Knight of Cups. And the universe, or source, or this connection, whatever the fuck, will deliver what it needs to deliver. Just... yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay, we've already been here for 2 hours. I was gonna flip the feminine and the masculine here around, but I won't because it's been 2 fucking hours. Yeah, and I have no strength for this. But you can still hope that I will most likely be doing this again. This is kind of fun. Trying to decode this message. If it resonated for you, that's nice. If it didn't, thanks for spending 2 hours with me. I'm wondering, I want to see if there's any sort of anything big here with, if I was to flip it, like a quick little summary. If I can't do summaries, like it's different. I have to have done it before I can. The masculine, feeling like he's feeling separated from the feminine, slash even wanting to feel like he's separated from the feminine, feeling like he's maybe missed an opportunity with the feminine, feeling like she's not connected to him anymore, and wanting to be certain of that because he still feels the way he does about her. This is the side of the masculine. Him thinking that he has lost opportunity with the feminine because he's not really feeling her. But it's almost for him to let it be, to let the feminine have her space, to sort through what she needs to sort through, which is a very interesting message. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Alternatively, also the masculine wanting to be more serious about whatever he wants to be more serious about, himself, his world, wanting to separate from this connection and not really looking for opportunity, and not even feeling opportunity to be in this. I feel like he's wanting the opportunity to be in this, to be honest. But I'm feeling like he's feeling separated from the feminine, yo. Like, feeling that separation from the feminine. That's what I'm feeling about separation there. He could be wanting to be separated as well, but he could be feeling it, because now I'm looking at that dude. And with this unrequited love here, in the position of the kind of deeper action steps here, it's looking like letting it be. It's very passive on this side. Letting things be, slash addressing the unrequited emotions that the feminine may be feeling. The feminine may be feeling an unrequited emotion. He's feeling the separation, and he's looking for maybe an opportunity, or he doesn't see an opportunity to address the feminine, and just kind of maybe hoping that the feminine will think and know that he's still feeling however way he's feeling about her. With the feminine on this side, she is probably worried that the masculine is falling for someone else, but she may also be feeling like she may be trying to cover up her feelings for the masculine. Like, she may be entertaining others, but her heart is still with the masculine. Oh, sorry. With this new love, not really allowing new love, but thinking that she is allowing it, but really deep down not allowing it, and kind of lying to herself about that. With this, she's feeling maybe insecure about the connection, or maybe feeling insecure about herself, having a hard time releasing the masculine energy. Really quite having a difficult time releasing the masculine energy, or even not wanting to, for fear of losing the connection here. Being mad at spirit, being mad at the divine, being not giving it to God in its way, not having maybe not praying enough, but like giving the right thing to God, not so much praying, please let him come back to me, please let him come back to me, but really praying. This is the steps that she needs to take, praying for guidance, how to act, and praying for things to work out in the way that they need to for the highest good of all, getting to that place. being able to release her hold on him, what he has said in the past or what they used to have, whatever, and being able to release it to the divine, which is hard, B. So good luck with that. Mutual energy wise, there are still feelings between the two of them. There are still warm romantic feelings between the two of them, but they're tainted by some heaviness. They're tainted by what's been, and as far as things go, there will be this sort of, I don't know, stop go, but in a different way. I don't know, what does it mean in this way, in this new thing? Okay, thanks. What does it mean in this way? So, okay, in this way, I suppose there is still healing. It's just now sort of entering into, no, oh God, the phase of, hold on, just give me a second. Just focus my thoughts for me, please. Oh boy. I really don't want that. Almost, for some, there's gonna be this hurting one another, in terms of you did this to me, you did this to me, you did this to me. Especially with the feminine here, with the Queen of Wands here, is what I'm gonna say. On the feminine side, but and so very slowly healing through those thoughts, healing through that phase, but it's gonna happen. There will be a healing. It's just the removal of the swords from the heart is going to be extremely painful. Maybe some lashing outs. Yeah. So it seems, even with the masculine on this side, kind of being guided to sort of isolate himself in a way. Because with the religious factors, to me, it's always kind of like, stop it, I got this, from the divine. But with unrequited love, it's the masculine feeling or believing or thinking that the feminine isn't feeling for him, but it's more so like religious, spiritual interception, being like, if you go now, it's not a good time, because she's going through it and you're liable to be lashed out. Yeah. And so it's a call for kind of them to take the steps they need to take within themselves before really making the effort for together, because these then romantic feelings become a little bit more painful than the other, than warm. But it's still looking like some sort of, I mean, it's looking like there's some sort of like rendezvous. Like it happening solo, but then moving again, like I said earlier in the 2-hour reading, moving towards each other in the quickest way. Like, because I feel like if they're solo, then this tower can fall faster. These can be attended to with the time and care that they need. The Queen of Wands can wild out in the way that she needs to and act up her crazy, get it out of her system, so that then things can come together in the quickest way. But that's if this story applies for you. Alternatively. Nine of Wands stays coming out. Nine of Pentacles stays coming out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you're still here, you're a super trooper. I appreciate you. If you'd like a private reading, the information for that is in the description box below. If you seriously listened to this 2-hour reading, I mean, I feel like we're bonded now. You might as well subscribe if you have not subscribed. If you are subscribed, I appreciate you being here. I hope that this served you, and thanks for hanging out with me for this amount of time. Thanks. Okay. So, I will see you on the flippity flip. And so, bye. Keep your light on. And good luck. Okay.